Today is fine. I think I got out after a long period of time. It's been long and I've been staying at home, so it was good. Weather was good. So yeah.
Yeah, weather is good today.
It was good
Yeah.
to be out today.
I get that. Okay, so good to know that you've been out for the first time, like after a long time. So okay, um, before we start, I would like to just let you know about the informed consent part. Basically, we'll be discussing about confidentiality, how we would maintain that. So everything that we speak about is private, will remain private in the room, except for certain instances, such as if I have to, if there is something causing you harm or something that you are harming, like if a child is being harmed in any situation, or if any danger or harm is suspected, then at that time I'll have to let you know and then breach the confidentiality. So nothing would not be let you known, but I would have to report that to then breach confidentiality that way. Only in those instances, apart from that, whatever we speak about stays in the room, stays between us, and goes nowhere. Okay? So, do you have any doubts about this thing?
No.
Okay, cool. Can we proceed?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so how has everything been? What brings you here? This? Why is it that you've chosen to come?
Yeah. So I recently got divorced from my husband, and I mean, I didn't really want the divorce, but I think it was better for both of us. And it's just been I think 6 to 7 months. So because of that, I mean obviously I know it's pretty much normal that people are going to get affected, but I do assume that I am more affected. He seems to have like a good life, but somewhere I feel like my life has just been upside down since the divorce and since he's been out of my life, because we've been together from like a long period of time. So so we were together from like 10 years or something. So we've been together from like 10 years, and so now after divorce, I think emotionally, psychologically, mentally, it has taken a lot of toll on me, and because of which I started to, I think, just to get out from the stress and everything. So I started to do weed again, because I used to do that in college, back in school in college days, but I didn't for like long period of time. But now I somehow just started to do that again, and I feel now it's a lot, because that's what I live with my mom right now. So she and my other friends, they're like quite worried about my this habit, and it's just like I like to be high all the time. I think. Yeah, because bringing it back to reality, then it just hits me that I'm not with him anymore, and so it just brings me back to reality. So I feel kind of better when I'm high. So that's what has been going on, and I feel like I should really have some control over my life.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is that using marijuana is making you feel high and making you feel disconnected from all those feelings that you would feel if you don't use it, and those feelings would be painful from the coming out of the divorce. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I see. You mentioned that you've been together since 10 years and then you guys had a divorce. So is it like you've been married since 10 years, or?
No, we dated, like we've been dating like for 10 years, but then we did get married after like 3 years into dating. So we were married for like 6 to 7 years.
Yeah. So that's what you're speaking, that it's a long marriage to get out of, and it must be very painful at this point.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is quite painful.
Yeah. I can understand. I did notice you saying there that you feel that he might be doing good in his life and you're not quite catching up.
Yeah, because
Is there
he actually wanted divorce, and I'm more of like a denial person because things were not really good between us. From like the past 2 years, things were not really cordial, and because he had his work, I had my own work, but he was more into work, and I used to have. That's why, because he got this new job, so where which is not in the same city, which is in different cities. So we did like kind of long distance in between. So since then things didn't work out much. So I used to keep on complaining and stuff like that, and because of it. So we had more fights and arguments. But I'm more of like a denial person. I never thought it would end up into divorce or stuff like that.
So it was like a complete shock for you?
Yeah, it was like a shock. But I think he was kind of prepared from the last 2 years because things were not working out. So that's why after like divorce, we do have mutual friends and stuff like that. So I do see that he is much at a better place because he's good at his job, doing good, and maybe having his own social life and stuff like that. But when it comes to me, when I see myself, so I'm kind of drowned. So like profession-wise, work-wise too. I mean, I did get some at school also. I was caught with weed and stuff like that. So they did like fire me, but not fire me because I've been with school for a long time. But I just got like warning or stuff. But I'm suspended for like few months.
Okay, this is the school you work at?
Yeah, the school where I work at. So they were lenient enough to understand my situation, what I'm dealing with, but still, I mean, so it affected my professionally and personally it is.
Okay, so that's basically something very big to share. Thank you so much for sharing. It takes a lot of courage and something that's going on in your life. Like what I hear is that your school has the school where you work at. You were caught doing marijuana, and then you were detained for that for 6 months, if I'm correct. Is what you said.
Yeah, like 8 to 9 months, I would say, like before that, because a divorce just happened 6 months back, but I have been doing it before that, because when everything was going on to process things and stuff like that.
Right. And it is quite a lot. I mean, something like I hear you saying that divorce was not something that you expected to get and expected to deal with at this point in your life, and that has kind of disrupted everything, and that's why you had to get back to marijuana use, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's what the school situation happened.
Yeah.
With the marijuana. I hear you speaking about your living with your mom. So how is she, like, is she supportive? How is the take on this?
I mean, she's the reason that I've come here today, because she's also not fine with me like smoking up so much. And also my friends. I mean, I do have a good support system of my friends and my mother. So I am living with her right now because after divorce, I mean, it's not really cool for me to live by myself. So I'm living with her right now, and I mean, yeah, she's there. She supports me. She understands me, and she also knows of my situation. That's why she just pushed me to get into counseling and therapy, so that I get rid of it and to get better control over my life. Because it's kind of like high time, because it's been 6 months and I don't want to wait up more, like for a year or so and then just get help. So it's better to just get. Already I feel like it's been 6 months and what I'm doing with my life. So when I just hear things from his side, so it's just kind of I really don't feel good, and it just brings me back to reality that what I'm really doing, what am I really doing.
So an aspect about hearing about his life is triggering you to make changes in your own, right? And that's something nice, and it's really nice that you mentioned that your mom is a really great support system for you. And it's really cool that your mom supports you and helps you come to therapy, and then it's really nice. I know. And
I'm grateful for her.
Definitely you should be. It's really nice. Okay, I heard that hearing about your husband doing good in his life or better than you is what you mentioned. It does make you feel like you need to make changes in your own. I also heard you saying that he was somebody who initiated the divorce, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, was there any particular reason that he initiated the divorce, or and you said that it came off as a shock for
Yeah,
you?
because like I said, things were not really good between us from the 2 years, but I did not, because we've been together for so long. So when you're together with someone for so long, you don't really expect, you know, like a divorce. So for me in my head, I thought this is the person. Okay, we are having frequent fights and everything, but we'll get out of it. You know, things will be better. But I never thought that from that end, you know, it would such a thing could ever come up. So that was something where I was really in shock, and I was not really expecting that, because these are things which you really discuss for a time. It just doesn't happen like that. And I think from his end also, it was not an impulsive decision. I could not really sense impulsive, but it was more of like he prepared for it, or he knew that he wants to get that. But it would have been better if he communicated with me. So for me, obviously on my end, it came out as a shock, because I was not really expecting that, and I was not prepared to. So yeah.
Yeah, it might be a shock when you don't expect something such long and so strong to end. You know, I can understand the feeling of it being a total shock, but then you also mentioned that he was the one who was pulling away, and subtly, but you didn't expect this to end it completely. You thought maybe it would be something that could be worked on. Or, yeah. I figure out that it might be difficult for you to process that, and that's why maybe you got back to using marijuana. By speaking of getting back to it, you also mentioned that you used it when you were in college and in school back when that was there.
School and college.
In school and college, yeah. So was that very frequent, or how did you end using it, and how was the use back then?
Back then it was more of like in parties basically.
Socially.
Yeah, like socially, you know, friends, and you do have groups and stuff like that. So it was just maybe on weekends or maybe on parties and stuff like that. So not like on regular basis, but more of like not for emotional too. It was only for social.
It was just for fun.
Yeah, for just fun and party, because you're at that age and you do get that peer pressure or influence and stuff like that. All of your friends are high and they do smoke outside. That was it. But not for like right now. I do see it problematic. I mean, anyway, I don't really believe that back when I was doing it was good or it was positive. I don't think so. But like right now, I feel like it is too much, because I do take like 4 to 5 like per day. Yeah, 4 to 5 joints per day. So it's just I'm almost every time high. So that's something which, you know, when people start to notice and everything, so you do realize that it's not really cool. And I know that, but then I was just giving myself, you know, more of like I was just giving myself like a time. Okay, it's okay, I'm dealing with something, so it's okay even if I have to do it. But I have been doing it from the last 8 months. So now that I feel like now it's not, because initially nobody used to stop me. Like even my mother, because they were like, okay, she's going through something, let her do whatever she wants to do. And even I gave myself that free hit, that just to do, you know, whatever I want to do. But then of course, I mean, now coming over to like 8 months, and when I see that, you know, he's all good, and I'm over here, I'm high. So that, of course, that affects me. That doesn't make me feel good.
Yeah. Might feel like that. I hear you. I also hear that you said that you used to do it for fun, and then you didn't do it during your relationship or marriage. So you ended because you started dating, or you ended because
it was just as an influence, because he used to not do that, and when we started dating, so somehow it just got off. I didn't need to
Maybe you felt emotionally fulfilled.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
when, because he used to not do that, so
Mhm.
if you're spending so much of time with the person, so you do, I had like a good influence on that, so I stopped
Okay.
doing that.
Okay.
And I stopped hanging out with the friends with whom I used to do those
Uh-huh.
things, and I started to spend more time with them, so of course.
Yeah.
So I was not doing that until,
Mm. I hear you agreeing to saying that it was an emotionally fulfilling period of your time when you started dating him and then got married and everything. So like, can you connect your emotional fulfillment to using marijuana, like when you got divorced 8 months ago and you started using it again, and now it's more like using it on a daily basis, you know? Is it because you're looking for that emotional fulfillment, or is it's just something?
Maybe, it could be.
Mm-hmm.
Because earlier also, I mean, we used to do for fun, and when I got him, so I didn't actually need that. I didn't feel like, the need to do so. So it could be, maybe you're right, that it is because of emotional fulfillment, because right now I'm not really fulfilled in any areas of my life, so I feel like maybe it could be.
Definitely. It is a possibility that
Yeah.
right? I also heard you mentioning that you worked at a school which you have been detained from right now for a while.
Yeah.
And there you have, because of using marijuana,
Yeah.
because of being caught for using that at work. So how is the nature of work for you? Do you feel stressed and that's why you used it at work, or was it just a...
Yeah, I mean, I did, so I was caught, so I mean, right now I'm not working, but definitely because I've been working with the school for a long period of time. So I've been working in the school as a teacher for, I think, 6 years. So you do have this image, you do have this relationship with colleagues and stuff like that. So it really, I mean, I've never had that incident where I have appeared, or my personal image, whatever I have, my image or whatever I am in my personal life. So I've always maintained that professional boundaries with my, other people. But now I feel also kind of like embarrassed. I was really embarrassed after that incident because because I got divorced. It was, but B, also because now I'm doing stuff like this. So it was quite embarrassing for me. And also, besides the social thing, I would say also, I think, because losing of job, the fear of losing job was also very much on top of my head, that I could lose this job, and then what would I do? I'm just dumping myself more into,
more into losing things.
Yeah, more losing things.
I hear you speaking about, I mean, first off, I also heard when you said that end of this relationship was not something you expected, and it just happened, and you had to deal with it, and you've been dealing with it in your own way. It's quite natural to feel devastated, I mean, not knowing, and it was a long relationship. I mean, acknowledgeably, it was a very long relationship. So like, that ending abruptly, and you didn't have enough answers from what you said from your husband as well, that why, so you might be prone to thinking of many reasons. It might be a shock, I can understand. Not getting a proper closure is what I hear. I also hear that you said that this job you're just detained from right now, and losing it will be a big thing for you again, and losing something again, right? And that is now due to using marijuana, right? So if you had to let me know some of your areas of focus, like you want to kind of maybe improve in your life at this moment. Like you say that you have a really good support system from your mother at this point. which is really amazing. It's a good base to have to start therapy, to work on things, and that's something. If you want to work on things, then which are the things that you would want to work on?
I think first would be to not be a mess, because I feel like I'm a mess right now. So maybe to work on my marijuana thing, the weed thing. Maybe
The
to have
use.
the use of marijuana all the time. So maybe that is something which I would want to start with, because I mean I really don't, when I'm conscious or when I'm in my senses, I really don't like to see myself like that. You know, and then because I feel like once that is done, so I would have better control over my life. But at the same time, I also don't want to go back to reality and be facing things, you know, stuff like that. So that also, but I would want to work on that, because I cannot see myself, like I cannot be a mess anymore. So that's something which I need to get that thing out from my life. And the other thing would be to get back on track, because right now I'm living with my mom, and I mean, she is really supportive of me, and she, of course, I mean, I'm her child, so she would support me in any way, but I also don't want to be dependent on her for a long period of time.
Right.
So she supports me right now because I'm not in a good mental state, or you know, physical state, or be any state. So, but not for long. I don't want this to be like a dependency on her. I want to get my life back on track. So that's something.
Okay. I heard that you said you don't want to be a mess anymore.
Yeah.
And you want to be lessening your marijuana use.
Yeah.
You don't want to be dependent on your mom.
Yeah.
You do feel grateful for her support, but you don't want to depend entirely on her.
Yeah.
You've been living with her because of financial crunches. I can understand.
And not be high all the time.
Not be high all the time too, right? That was something that was helping you not feel things.
Sorry?
That was something that was helping you not feel things.
I mean, the state where I'm in when I'm high, I mean, I kind of like that, because things do amplify, intensify, and sometimes I do get bad trip. But I've been doing it over the period of time, so now it's much better.
Okay.
So it helps me sleep. It helps me to just get lost in my own world, so stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. So you mentioned your areas which are getting impacted by marijuana use. I have a little board over here, just in case. Just to like so this is a scale, if you can see. It's from 1 to 10. Please ignore this. Okay, it's from 1 to 10, and this being a 0, let's not ignore it. Yeah. So 0 to 10, and it's like a scale that would help you identify where you are right now pertaining to your marijuana use and where you would want to be. So if I would ask you a few areas of focus. Now, areas of focus meaning you said that you don't want to be a mess. Right?
Okay.
So to figure that mess out, you want to lessen your marijuana use, and for lessening that, what would be the area of your life which would be most impacted if you started lessening using your marijuana?
I think my mental state, normally, in general, my mental state.
Your mental state?
Yeah.
I'll write each of them down.
Yeah, I'll have better control of my life.
Better control of your life,
Yeah.
in terms of?
Control of my life, in terms of maybe, you know, doing things on my own, maybe like cooking. And like social life. So I have a pet.
Do you have a pet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe to take care of him, because right now my mom is doing that.
Okay.
So, and also definitely the job thing.
So there's job.
To get back life on track would mean to go back to where I was, because right now I'm not really working, not only like the job thing, but normally also I'm not really working. So the household stuff, and you know, my car, a lot of things. So just want to get back in life
Okay.
and maybe socialize, social friends, getting back with my friends, and going out.
Getting back with friends,
Yeah.
going out, socializing. Okay. These are some. Then you said you didn't want to be dependent on your mom as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Independence. Is there anything you would like to add to it?
No, I think you got it all
Got it
for
all?
now.
Yeah? Okay. So I would like to ask you, I have introduced the scale to you. I would just like to ask you that what do you think that you would be able to, what is your score from 0 to 10 when it comes to prioritizing, say, independence, being independent and being good at your job? So if we have to talk about areas of focus, I would like to ask you to focus on any one which you would like to start from now. Which would be your priority right now?
My mental state.
Your mental state. Okay, definitely. So, how would you describe your mental state? As in, how would you describe it in a little bit more detail if I had to ask you?
Yeah, so right now because I'm too stressed about, and also emotionally because the divorce thing, it's too much on me, now to start life back on my own because I don't know how would I be doing things. So I'm just very burdened right now.
Emotions due to divorce.
Yeah, so
Okay.
there are a lot of things and mental state right now because obviously because of the use of weed, I'm not really I'm not really conscious or not in control of myself. So it
Okay.
includes everything, like to have like a proper mental state.
So you want to move towards a conscious
Yeah.
way of living more?
Yeah.
To be more in control.
Yeah, to be more in control of my emotions and my thoughts.
To be conscious and in control, right?
Yeah.
In control. Correct me if anywhere I'm wrong.
Yeah.
That's correct? Okay. Cool. So you said that your priority and main area of focus right now would be your mental state pertaining specifically to your emotions due to your divorce that you need to process out, and the consciousness that you want to feel in your life. You don't want to feel unconscious. You want to feel more in control of things in your life. How important would you think that is for you on a scale of 0 to 10 at this moment?
To be in a better mental state?
Yes.
I would say 9.
Oh, that's a really, okay, so that's 9. Okay, so that's a really high number, pretty high number, which shows that your importance is really good for mental state. So for bettering your mental state, you said that you want to, you feel that it is a 9 level important to you. Why, I would like to ask you, why isn't it a 7 or 8 as compared to a 9 at this moment to improve and get better and in control?
Because if it is 7 or 8, then again I will drown and I will lose all control of my life, and I just don't want to see myself like that. So I would fail in all aspects. So it's definitely not the end of the world. So it's not 7 or 8 because it is really important to have a better state of mind, because if I don't have better state of mind, it is going to affect.
Then everything gets affected.
Everything gets affected. So I just don't want to be in that bed anymore.
Right. That's completely reasonable, and that's something nice. So how ready do you feel? I know it is
I would say
difficult
like
to
4 or 5.
A 4 or 5
Yeah.
in terms of readiness.
Still, because inside me I feel like, okay, I should really, I am going through something, so I feel like I would not say excuse, but it's just more of like to justify that whatever I'm doing right now, but I know it's not really right, but I kind of like still have that feeling, okay, it's okay to do so. I mean, it's
Yeah.
okay to do so. So just kind of justify that thing.
Yeah, at a hindsight, it is kind of okay to do what you're doing because it is very natural to feel the way you're feeling
Yeah.
right now. It is very acceptable that you
Mm.
won't be able to leave marijuana completely
Mm.
from your life right now, and that's completely natural. That's something very realistic.
Mm.
Uh, if you had to, what would you do if you had to do any one thing? Like, you don't have to completely withdraw from it. Nobody is, it's very unrealistic to think so at this point. But if you had to do something,
Mm.
even a little, like a baby step to get away from marijuana use, or lessen it a little bit, like 5 to 10% a day, what is the activity you think you would do, or what is something that you think you would do to reach from a 4 or 5 to a level of 6 readiness?
So maybe like today, I did, like I said, when I came here, that I did go out after a long period of time. So maybe I would want to go out for a walk and to make that a habit in my daily routine or regime, where I am going out and going for a walk for like half an hour or so. So that just waking up, I am not craving for
Yeah.
that. So maybe if I keep myself busy,
Yeah.
then I would not really need that.
Right.
So also because if when I go out, so you definitely do feel good,
Yeah.
dopamine hits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
You feel refreshed.
yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe I would want to give myself time
To go out
go
more.
out.
I'm glad we discussed on this. And just while we're reaching to the end of the session, I would like to just go through a quick summary to know if we are on the same page, right? So you had a divorce about like 8 months ago, and this divorce was a complete shock for you, and this happened after a long time of marriage in your life, and after following the divorce, you started using marijuana, and you started using it much more frequently just to stay high and to not process those emotions that you have coming out of the divorce. And you used to use marijuana in your college, and that is something that you stopped when you started dating because you had your emotional fulfillment. Now that it's lacking in your life, you started reusing it, and because of the use, you work at a school and you've been caught using marijuana over there, and that's why you've been detained for a while from work, and you've been living with your mom for financial reasons, and she's a great support system in your life. She has nudged you to come to therapy, and this is one of the times when you have come out after a long time, and you would like to socialize a little bit more. Is all of that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel socializing, definitely we can target more on how we can socialize more. Definitely we can target more on improving your conversations and your whole conversations with your mom as well. By the next session, I just wanted to think like by the next session, okay, how would you be able to, go about this, and what are the steps that you would like to take when you want to socialize with your friends or anywhere. Okay.
Thank you.
No worries. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.